Welcome to Ripple Impact. I'm truly excited today to introduce our guest for today's show. He is known as the Canadian Ideaman. He partners with innovative leaders and organizations to equip and motivate for profitable growth and success. He is the prolific author of 33 books, which includes business and leadership, some of which made the Amazon bestseller list. He is also the founding member of CAPS, which is Canadian Association of Professional Speakers. Until COVID-19, he regularly traveled the globe, sharing his ideas at work. Now he travels the globe from his rural office in Egremont, Alberta. Please join me in welcoming Bob Hooey.
Hey, thanks, Abraham. Glad to be with you.
You're welcome to the show. Bob, I was going through your profile and I was truly impressed. You are an author of about 33 books, which include leadership and businesses.
Yep.
And as a matter of fact, you do have your latest book titled Succeed.
Yeah.
And I was made to understand that Succeed. Succeed, idea-rich strategies to succeed in business despite disruption. So, Bob, what led you to writing this book, Succeed?
Well, Abraham, as you know, when the pandemic hit us in February going into March, all of a sudden I saw international engagements canceling. Singapore was the first one to say they're canceling, and then Barcelona was canceled, Paris was canceled, Germany eventually canceled, but etc. And I saw these international trips being canceled for me. And to be honest, I actually got depressed. I mean, I don't get depressed long. I figure if I have a depression, I wallow in, totally enjoy it for half a day, and then I put it aside and get on with life. But I thought about it for a couple of days and I thought, okay, I can't travel, but my ideas can.
Right.
So I thought, what can I do? And one of the things I thought I could do was write a book that would encourage people to continue working on their business, to continue working on how to be successful in spite of disruptions, in spite of global disruptions, because that's something that was on everybody's mind. And I thought maybe I can encourage everyone just a little.
Wow, that's quite inspiring. I love the fact that you said, after all of the things, and I believe a lot of, truly speaking, a lot of events, were canceled. Yes. Lots of money that was put into pre-plan events, went down the drain, and people began to become innovative in order to, be able to present despite the pandemic. And You said something that you realized that you couldn't travel, but your ideas could.
Yes.
And I recall speaking with you at one time. I was in an event that you talked about preparing to travel down to Spain for an event just before the pandemic struck. So sitting back and realizing that you couldn't attend that event, and lots of people couldn't travel to be physical wherever they needed to be to deliver speeches. And a lot of people are back home, not doing something significant. And you just thought to yourself that, well, since I can't travel physically, my ideas can travel. And you decide to package these ideas with strategies for success in business despite disruption. I think that is quite
well. And for example, with the event that we were planning in Barcelona, that we were having a 2-day event to celebrate PSA Spain's first year in operation. I'm actually a member of PSA Spain, helping them get started. And so I invited a bunch of speakers. There was going to be 16 speakers plus all the people coming from around the world to come into Barcelona for 3 days, and the 2 days would be the conference. And reluctantly, we had to cancel it because, one, I couldn't get out of Canada, and two, the European Union closed travel for anybody coming in. Like, they shut the airports down so that nobody was coming in. So I thought, well, okay, we can't go. So what we did is I went back to my speakers about a week later and said, how about if we go online and do something for them? So we took what we would have done in 2 days and we brought it down into a 2.5 hour speakers roundtable, where each of us, instead of speaking for 30 minutes, spoke for 5. which means we take the real essence of what we wanted to share and bring it down to a really small point to get it across, because we wanted to honor them in the sense that they were in their first year, and we wanted to encourage them as they went into year 2. And plus, I thought it would be a great way to spend my birthday in Barcelona. So,
oh, you talked about your birthday. Wow, I can imagine all the plans you would have put in place, and fun places you'd have wanted to be. Well,
yeah.
Things happen, but I think it is paramount for us not to just sit down and cry over things that do not go the way we plan them to go. I believe you made most of your birthday at the same time, even though things did not really happen the way you wanted it. So tell us, what did you do on your birthday, and how did you spend the birthday here in Canada, since you couldn't follow up with the plan you made?
Well, actually, we went to A&W. we went through drive-through. We had a drive-through date at A&W for my birthday, and which was better than nothing. We at least got out of the house. And
you know what I tell people? I tell people that this time is the time to save money, right? Before now, when you have a birthday, you have an anniversary, you have anything, you call people, you cook, you spend money, you do all of those things.
Yeah.
But because of the pandemic, people just do virtual events.
That's the one positive in this is I've saved a lot of travel money this year. So when we finally get to travel, there'll be money stockpiled that we can use. It's just, for me, I enjoy speaking, I enjoy traveling, and when I can put the two of those things together, I'm happy. That was one of the things that attracted me to this industry. In the first cases, I thought, if I get good at this, I can travel the world. And, I've been to 60 countries so far, and hopefully that's not it. Hopefully the health will get better so that we can travel. And I'd like to hit at least 100 before I die. So, that's a lot, but I'm ramping up.
That's good. That's good. So Bob, before we digressed a little bit. When you spoke about your book, I wanted to find out from you, our audience will also be interested to know, your book Succeed. Can you just give us 1 or 2 points in that book that, of course, will help someone to succeed despite disruption? Because a lot of people, when faced with adversity, they are unable to move forward. They keep blaming, everything else for the
I think the first thing that I suggest to people is one, don't quit, because that's a tendency. If things go bad and they stay bad for a while, you want to quit, you want to cry, you want to stay in bed with the covers over your head until things get better, but don't do that. Second thing is reach out and talk to people, reach out and get involved in doing something, because maybe you can't do what you could do, but you can always do something. For example, some of the business people who, like for a lot of the restaurants weren't able to have anybody come in, but they could do takeout. So, which is a start. Some of the stores, like even some of the lumber stores and stuff like that, you could arrange your order and come and pick it up, and they would bring it out to the curb and put it in your vehicle. So there's always something you can do. The other thing that I'm seeing a lot of people are using Zoom, like you are, and a lot of my friends, is now becoming a way of communicating. So is there something you can do with Zoom? Because say for example, if you don't have a lot of money, you can get a free Zoom account that gives you up to 40 minutes to do one of these things. I know there's a lady in Edmonton that has a high-end consignment store, and she does Facebook Live where she says, see this dress is blah, 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 and look at these shoes that would go with it, and here's some jewelry and whatever, and people buy it and then go to her store, make appointments to go to the store to double check it to make sure it fits, and buy it and take it home. So she got creative, she's taking people into the store one at a time to pick up their purchases and stuff. So instead of just totally closing and doing nothing, she's doing something. So that's the other thing. The other thing you can do is keep in touch with other people. Because if you get depressed, if you don't reach out to other people, you can get really depressed. Inevitably, there's somebody in your life that can be an encourager for you, who will give you some encouragement and maybe give you a tip on how to move forward, how to do something. Like for you and I, we both belong to GoPro speakers. So we have that in common. So we go to a meeting, we get encouraged, we see other speakers, we learn from things. Or with me, with CAPS and some of the other speakers associations that I belong to around the world, I still virtually attend meetings, so I'm still learning, even though now my world is this little rectangle on my screen here. That's now my world. My window to the world is right here. And if we're doing a large call, then it's a little inky dinky one because you get the galleries. But at least I'm reaching out, because I learned that. I actually learned that the hard way when we had 9/11 happen. I went through a similar thing where all of a sudden I had 5 engagements canceled within 3 weeks of 9/11. And I shrugged it off and thought, no big deal, because I had other things booked going into the new year. And then all of a sudden everything sort of died. And instead of reaching out, I pulled back. And I didn't do anything on my business. I didn't do anything to encourage me. And so once I got through it, I looked back and thought, okay, what I should have done was done something, whether it was going to my Toastmaster club and volunteering to give a speech or something. Because for me, when I speak, I get energy. You know, when I travel the world, I may be dead tired. Like, for example, last summer, I came back from Manila. I forget what it was. It was, early in the morning, and yet later that morning I was presenting to a client. I had like maybe 4 hours sleep. They didn't know it, because I get the energy when I'm speaking. And so I now, after I got finished and I went home, bam, down for the day. But at the time I got the energy and I got into it. So do something interesting. Like my wife, for example, she's starting to take up painting. She's just taking an online painting course. And for example, she took one the other day and she said, I was really tired. And I sat down, and an hour and a half later, I noticed that I was having fun. I wasn't tired anymore, because your mind changes on your focus and you do something. You can do that in your business as well. If you focus on the negative, if you focus on what's not working, you will get depressed, you will give up, and you will die. But if you focus on what you can do, and you focus on maybe what you can do to help somebody else, that gives you energy. That gives you some push in your life, and you'll move forward. And sometimes when you move forward, you come up with something that was even better than what you had before the challenge.
Wow, that's quite inspiring, Bob. You see, the what you just said, you said so many things in when you explained this point. And personally, I picked up an idea from there, right? You talked about the lady that was advertising, doing her video calls like this, live, Facebook Live, and advertising her products for free.
Yeah.
That's free airtime she's getting, right? And people are coming to our store to get what they needed. And the truth is that during times of crisis, a lot of things happen, right? Things happen. Opportunities are always there for people who, have the eye to see opportunities, right? It was during the time of this crisis that I started my YouTube channel. I started the book and I got it completed. Yeah. And I've heard about a lot of people who have done so many amazing things that they couldn't do because they were busy in the past, but they're able to do them during this time. Yeah. Absolutely, Bob. I agree with you 100%. All you need to do is engage your mind.
Sometimes all of a sudden you have time free up.
Right.
So if you're the kind of person like I am, I'm not really good at sitting around doing nothing. That's one of the reasons why I've written 33 books, and I'm actually researching the 34th one right now. To pulling together things, and I'll edit it and publish it next month. But I'm the kind of person I have to be working on something. Sometimes I'm working on 2 or 3 things at a time. So when I take a break from one thing, I can move over and work on something else. But that's me. That may not work for you. But I do believe that people, when they're focused and they have something to work on, live longer, live better lives. And I believe that even as people age. I think people get old because they stop learning. They get old because they stop doing. They get old because they stop enjoying life. And I think that's sad. I plan on living until I die. I don't know when that's going to be, but until then, I'm going to keep doing things. And hopefully once this particular crisis is gone, it'll include more travel. But, you know, that's the whole point. Like we said that to our kids. We said, you know, we've thought about it. We've helped you. We're going to spend your inheritance. We're going to go traveling and we're going to enjoy ourselves, and you can deal with the leftovers.
So that's good. You already planned your life for, I mean, you planned your activities for the rest of your life. There's no retirement.
Whatever time I have, I'm going to try and make the best of it between now and then, whether it's another day or 10 years or 20 years or 30 years. I don't know. Nobody knows. But the point is, you know, I have a friend who, this was back in Caps, BC. And she said, she was speaking to something and talking about planning and whatever. And she was speaking to a bunch of people that were in a hospital, and the one lady said, well, it's easy for you, you know, because you're healthy. And she said, yeah, I am today. I don't know if I will be tomorrow. You know, she said, I make plans so that just in case I wake up, I have something to do.
So see, that's where the issue of faith comes in.
Yeah.
When you have faith that you're going to be alive tomorrow. You do things with faith. Of course, you don't see what happens tomorrow.
I'm not here tomorrow, well, then it won't get done. But if I wake up, I got something to do.
So, Bob, with all of these things, where do you see the future of live speaking? Not online right now, live speaking.
Well, I have to tell you, and you know, I'm a very positive person, and I'm positive it will come back. I just don't think it's going to come back soon. I'm seeing, like I see in the States, they're doing some stuff, but the reality of what they're doing is right afterwards they get more people getting sick and dying. But I don't think we're going to see any large meetings happen until probably next fall, realistically. You know, and for example, when we had to reschedule our event in Barcelona, we said, well, we'll do it next April. Between you and me, I'm thinking probably not next April. It'll probably, if we get to do it live, it'll probably be next fall. And that'll be fine too. You know, originally it was April because that was my birthday, but you know, we'll do it when it's safe and everybody can get there, you know, both the speakers and the attendees. But, and in between time, we'll do this. The other thing I think is going to happen is you're going to see a lot more blended events where you'll have, for example, I was supposed to speak in Germany this month, 10th to the 12th at the German Speakers Association. They went to a blended event with a small amount of people that were there live, and the rest was virtual. I sent greetings and stuff, you know, on a YouTube. I put together a point for them and said, I'm sorry I can't be with you, and et cetera, et cetera. And they played that to the 170 some people that were there. But you know, I would have rather have been with them personally because it would have been a lot more fun. Right. But such is life. What can you do? I mean, the biggest challenge for me with that particular one was the fact that you can't get travel insurance, medical and travel insurance outside of Canada right now.
Oh, really?
No. So, you know, you get sick now, you get sick or stuck someplace, it'd be really expensive. So that just means it's not worth the risk.
That's true.
You know, I don't mind traveling and you take your chances, but when you've got insurance that covers you if you're sick to cover the medical expenses, or if your travel gets interrupted and stuff, but that insurance right now is not available. And unless it's changed in the last few weeks, but a month ago it wasn't available. And finally I said, guys, I can't get there.
Ooh, that's serious. And it's not worth taking the risk.
Yeah.
It's not
worth. Well, no, it's not worth, you know, risking your livelihood and your savings, you know, because I mean, in some countries, if you don't have medical insurance, you know, it'll bankrupt you. If you get a broken arm, it could cost you hundreds of thousands of dollars to get it fixed, which sounds silly because in Canada, we don't have that problem.
Absolutely. I know we're privileged. We're privileged.
But still, I want to travel the world, but I want to be able to do it safely.
Right.
And that will eventually happen.
Oh, yes. I agree with you. I think, like you said, your projection is next fall, which is about a year from now.
Yeah.
Right. So, yeah, that may happen sooner, though. But of course,
if it happens sooner, I'm okay by that. I'm just mentally preparing to say, you know, unless something changes and they get a vaccine that they know works and et cetera, then what I'm doing now is what I'm going to be doing for the next year, which is doing things at home and writing books and doing videos. And, like, for example, I just uploaded 27 videos to my YouTube channel today that Irene was working on for me. So, because we've got lots of stuff that we recorded. And so now she's working on it so that we can add to the channel.
Right.
But I'd rather be traveling, but I can't travel right now. So I can put my stuff, I can put my ideas on video. I can put my ideas on books. I can do my ideas with interviews, like with people like yourself, and share ideas. So that keeps me busy. It keeps me positive. It keeps my mind sane, which is a good thing, because I don't think you want to see an insane Hooey.
No, I don't. I don't want to see.
I don't know what that would look like, and I don't want to see it either. So,
so Bob, I will, looking at everything you have been able to achieve for yourself, writing up to 33 books, and you're working on the 34th. You speak around the world and all of those things. What is your routine like? Morning routine? How do you spend your day? Well,
depending on what I'm doing, I mean, now my routine is different than it used to be, because I'm not unless I have an early morning video thing to do, I don't jump out of bed at 7 o'clock in the morning anymore, because I'm semi-retired. I might as well sleep in. I get up when the cats let me, and I'll check my email, have a cup of coffee. If I'm working on a writing project, I'll put in 3 or 4 hours writing. If I'm doing something else like video or for the summer, it was actually great. Summer times have normally been my time to do things around the house.
Okay.
And as well as before COVID hit, that's what I would do. The summers were my time to back off a little bit. I do some speaking. Like last year, I spoke in Manila in August last year, and I was there for a week. I spoke for 2 different groups while I was there. I also spoke in Denver last August. Did a little bit of stuff in July, but I don't do a lot of work necessarily in the summer, but I love puttering. So I'm learning how to build stuff, which is fun. And I do that in the summer. In the wintertime, I'm gonna work on projects.
Nice.
I will probably get up and maybe spend a little bit of time on the book, maybe research some ideas for some videos, because I think video is a good part of what's happening for our future. And as well as Irene working on she's got 50 or 60 of my little 1 or 2 minute ones that I've done already that needs to be produced and put up, but I can start producing more of them. For example, one of the things I'm going to do is I'm going to do a whole series where I'm going to open up and say, "Hi, I see you're interested in my book, Succeed. Let me tell you about the book." And I'll tell them about the book. And then I'll say, "Thank you for buying it." And that'll be on my website attached to the book, as well as on Amazon, so that people, if they want to check out a book, they can have a word from the author. So that'll be a little bit of research to make sure that I do, the 33 of them to cover each of the books and say to people, here's what this book is about. I think you'd find it really good in your library. I enjoy writing, and I'm sure you'll enjoy reading it.
Oh, nice.
And that'll be a whole new series.
I see. That's a project for the future. And I think that will be amazing, because if you're buying a book and you hear the voice of the author personalized to you, wow, that's great.
Well, and evidently you on Amazon with your author profile thing, there's a way of putting video in there. So at the very least, I'm going to put a video saying, "Hi, I'm Bob Hooey, author of such books as da 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 da, business and leadership success books." I write them because I want to help people who are in business and leadership be more effective and be more profitable. That's what I do when I'm speaking. So I've taken that into my writing, and I hope you enjoy them, or something like that. So at the very least, they'll see something visual from me. And then I'm not sure if I can attach these little ones to each book on Amazon, but I can probably add them to that library. So again, it's as you're understanding with what you're doing, it's building content that people will see and go, "Oh, I know Abraham, maybe I should hire him. Oh, I know Bob, maybe I should hire him." and that's what we need to do. That's, again, being positive and moving forward in our business. If you and I were in a different business, we could still do videos. Say I owned a hardware store. I could do a video and say, hi, I'm Bob Hooey. I have so-and-so's hardware store, and we've got a special on something this week. Come on in and buy one. Well, and put it on YouTube.
Such a good idea.
I had a friend who used to do that on Facebook. She didn't do videos, but she'd put pictures of the special of the day. She had a little restaurant, coffee shop, and here's what the special of the day is, or here's what the soup of the day is. And so people would get to know what she's doing, and they'd come in if they, oh, I love potato leek soup, I'm going to come in today, And it's just a creative way of spreading the news and getting to know people.
Oh, nice. That's such a valuable information, and I'm sure our viewers are getting this, they are catching it, and they will implement it to sell their products.
I guarantee you that if you want to make your life successful, you can do it even in spite of tough times. One thing and I'm not sure if it's true now, but back when we went through some really tough times, they sold more Cadillacs and Lincolns during recessions than they did otherwise. So there was money there. People did spend money. It's just, so if you happen to be a high-end value product like a Cadillac or a Lincoln, you had to get to the people that still had the money. But if you're a different kind of business thing, who are your customers? How do you get to them? It's the same question you should be asking yourself if we didn't have the global pandemic. But now that we have that, okay, who are my customers? What are they reading? What are they watching? How do they connect with other people? Are they on Facebook? Are they on LinkedIn? Are they doing Instagram? Are they doing Snapchat? What are they doing? How can I get to them and say, hi, here I am. I'm here to serve you. Give me a call. Click on the link and come and see me, whatever it happens to be. And I believe the people who do that will be successful in spite of these tough times. I really do.
Bob, if any of our audience wants to buy your book, any of your books, or perhaps the one we've just spoken about right now.
Well, actually,
what's the link?
This one I gave you the link. You can put it on the thing. This one I'm giving them for free. This is my investment for people during these times of crisis. When I've been doing interviews, I've been actually giving this away as a PDF copy. But if you want to buy any of the other ones, they're all available on Amazon, Amazon.ca, Amazon.com, Amazon Spain. I don't know, wherever they got Amazon, you can search Bob Hooey and find the books. But you can also check them out on successpublications.ca, which is our personal publishing company, which is what my wife does. She runs that. She's an editor. She does the editing, and she's helping speakers with their books and helping them format them and edit and get them up into print and into pixels. So it's successpublications.ca.
Thank you so much. That will be displayed on the screen when this video goes out. And I'd like to thank you so much, Bob, for being so generous to share the link to the PDF copy of your book, Succeed.
I'm glad to do that.
Yeah, so for all our viewers watching this interview right now, when this interview, the video is released, you'll be able to go down the link. If you're watching on YouTube, you go down the link, the drop-down button there, you'll see the link to this book. You can download it for free. And if you're watching from Facebook or any of our platform, you are still able to do that. Last word for our guests, please. Just go ahead and say the last word that you have for them.
Well, keep positive, my friends. Don't give up. This too shall pass. Think back for your life and think of, you've had 100% success rate of getting through tough times in the past. So you'll get through this one too.
Wow, powerful. Thank you so much, Bob, and talk to you again soon.
You bet.
Bye for now. Bye.